And welcome back once again. My name is James Henderson, coming to you where it all got started here at MillardaBitcoin.com. To where this episode is, we're going to be talking about cryptocurrency scams, how to identify them, what to watch out for, and then how to move on to your next ICO token that can actually make you money. So this and a whole lot more here at MillardaBitcoin.com. So it was this and a whole lot more about people have been wondering if this day would ever happen. Yes, a lot of people lost their money. No, we don't know how much they took. Yes, this is probably the reason why they decided to say that Bitcoin is actually dropping in price. And no, no one knew that this was gonna happen. Even the naysayers and the prosayers saying that today was the day that this was gonna happen. A lot of people said soon, but they never knew that soon came here. It was just like it's like the $1,000 price increase on the Nasdaq. Took 5 days to do it. Went from 24 to 25, 25 on the 26, 27, 28. Right now, the stock market and the Nasdaq here in America is just booming. Now's also an awesome time to get into cryptocurrency if you're waiting for that dip. Once again, the technology is here to stay. The blockchain itself has been able to relieve a lot of financial pressures on securing data that shouldn't be tampered with. And on top of that note, we now have a lot of people that are saying, okay, something just happened. How do we move on from this, and how do we, go ahead with whatever we go ahead with? So let's first learn about cryptocurrency scams and scams in general, of how investors try to take money, unsuspected investors or inventors or salesmen will try to take money from unknowingly knowledgeable investors. All right? So, this information will be detailed in my top 5 cryptocurrency and scams that have been going on that I've seen and I've tried warning people about. So this is just a brief episode of how this is all getting started. All right. So what's a pyramid and Ponzi scheme? So I broke these up. These are actually two different things, but they seem to be correlating with each other a lot in the cryptocurrency space. All right, a lot of new people are saying, "Look at my great technology." No, sure, you don't have to understand how it works. Just invest in it. That right there should be, some red flags popping up out of your ears, going, "All right, if I don't understand the technology, but people are making money from it, so okay, I'll just go ahead and invest in it." Listen, if you once again, why did Bertha Hathaway never invest into a dot-com company in the very beginning of the dot-com boom? Why? He just never understood it. Why? My grandfather should have invested in a lot of other people who have made a lot of money, but he didn't. He was also able to save a lot of his hard-earned money by not investing in other companies. Why? He just didn't understand it. So, as an investor myself, if I don't understand the technology, then I don't understand it I should be investing in it. Sure, it could be the next thing against sliced bread, but once again, if you don't understand the technology, then it's something you just shouldn't be investing in. If you don't understand the company, the concept, or the problem that you're just trying to solve, you just shouldn't invest in it. Like myself, I don't invest in women's products. Why? I'm not a woman. Don't understand it. My wife's saying this is a good deal, uh, and she is investing in it, but I don't invest in it as where she doesn't invest in men's problems because she doesn't understand it. Once again, it's one of those deals. If you don't understand what's going on from every stage of my dollar to get invested to the dollar that I get out, then you shouldn't be investing in your product. So what's a pyramid scheme? A pyramid scheme is someone who's trying to sell a product or service and in return of a financial gain. Yes, it's called business. So if I sell a bag of chips or a bottle of whiskey to someone, I can make a profit, and that's true. Now, where it becomes a pyramid scheme, if I get a whole bunch of people underneath me and they all sell the same product or service that I'm trying to sell, and I get a piece of their sales, then that's considered a pyramid scheme. As where if they get a bunch of people underneath them to sell the same product or service, then I still get a piece of their cut. Now that's where it becomes a pyramid scheme. What's a Ponzi scheme? Ponzi scheme is where you invest in my company, I put it into this little black box, and in return you get out a whole bunch of money and you become financially wealthy among your wildest dreams. That's considered a Ponzi scheme. As everyone here knows, uh, Bernie Madoff. Bernie Madoff was phenomenal in selling this little black box that he was able to take people's money. He told them that he's going to put it into his own financial black box, and in order to give them all their money back plus a large sum more. Well, we all know that this was now a Ponzi scheme after the fact because he wasn't able to keep up his own worth, and the market started asking a lot of questions. And when that happens, that's when a Ponzi scheme usually fails. Or if in one case, like the tulips from Holland, they were up to $100 a tulip, but when they started coming down in price, a lot of the companies who were making a lot of money, people were, saying if you invest in our tulip company, that you're going to make a lot of money. As soon as it started dropping in price, then these companies would actually, fall and go into Chapter 11 or Chapter 7, which means bankrupt protection, and people would lose everything. So that's the difference between a pyramid and a Ponzi scheme. Pyramid scheme is, once again, if you get some other people underneath you to invest, and buy and sell under the same product that you're under for you to make a profit. And a Ponzi scheme is you invest in a little black box, and we'll give you, wealth among your wildest dreams. And I started seeing a lot of these pyramid and Ponzi schemes together in the cryptocurrency space. And so it's so when Bitcoin dropped half its value, a lot of these Ponzi schemes and pyramid schemes literally had to close shop because they couldn't keep up with their lies. So, with that said, that's the difference between the pyramid and Ponzi schemes and how a lot of them are coexisting in the whole cryptocurrency world. All right. So what's next? Next is a pump and dump. So what's a pump and dump? Pump and dump is when you take a vulnerable product or service, everyone rushes into, a small group rushes into it, the value of the product or service goes up extremely high, and then everyone at the top sells it because a lot of people are seeing that, oh my gosh, we're going to be missing out, so we need to sell or buy into the product. And so as the people who are fair of missing out are buying, everyone else is selling that had bought at the bottom, and then the price starts tumbling down again. So there's a lot of pump and dump groups out here, and a lot of people work on these pump and dump groups, especially for the OTC stocks. What are the OTC stocks? They're the over-the-counter stocks, or otherwise known as your pink sheet stocks or penny stocks. Well, there's a lot of there's a lot of penny stocks and the whole cryptocurrency market that are traded on these Bitcoin exchanges like Polynex, Kraken, Bittrex, all the major ones. That's an understanding of what a pump and dump is. Pump and dump is, you get involved with a group of people to force to raise the price of a vulnerable altcoin, as they're known. What's an altcoin? An altcoin is an alternative coin other than Bitcoin. So are sometimes known as S coins, SHIT coins. All right. So once again, if you're involved in these pump and dumps, and Bittrex catches you, then they're going to close your account, and you're going to lose everything that you had in their account. I know Kraken and several other major Bitcoin exchanges have taken the same lead as what Bittrex has issued. So once again, if you're involved in these pump and dumps, I would advise you to stop, or you're going to lose everything that you made. Telegram, Facebook, LinkedIn, they all have these pump and dump groups out there, and a lot of other forums. But once again, I do not advise you to be a part of these pump and dumps. And if you're in the Bitcoin exchange market and you see a coin just out of nowhere go through the roof, then I would actually hold tight and start digging into whether or not these ICO coins have a valid reason why they need to go up, that they're going up so high and so quickly, or is this just a classic pump and dump, and then within 24 hours the price will be back at where it started or below where it started, and then you can buy then. All right. So with that said, that is your classic pump and dump. So what's an ICO? ICO is your initial coin offering. Okay, no, I'm not saying every ICO out there is bad. What is an ICO? An ICO are basically they're IPOs to the cryptocurrency world. An IPO is the classic way of getting your money onto the stock market, raising vast amounts of money for you to accomplish your product, service, or goals. After a lot of other people have validated your company of being a stable company that your product or service is a money maker, and that you're able to move on if you're fully funded within your own business. Now, most ICOs out there that were created in 2017 and now even 2018, they have to go through the SEC. Why? Because just like an IPO, you're securing your funds in order to start up your business or to either start up your business or to provide enough money to finish out your product or service that you're trying to build. The neat thing about that is there's some really good products out there that are fully regulated by the Securities and Exchange Commission on an ICO. They've been able to accomplish their task, just like Filecoin that raised over $200 million to supply the money that they needed to build a solid product, of decentralizing storage data system on the blockchain technology. And also they actually had the team of people on board that were able to execute every single demand that the company needed for a proper execution of the company, and two, a completion of what they set out to do. So this is, and also they had some very impressive backers, So that's always nice to know that these guys are out there. Now, what's a fake ICO? A fake ICO is where people are trying to raise a large sum of money, telling everyone how rich they're going to be after they invest in our product or service. After we raise a large amounts of money, and then disappearing off the face of the earth. So there's three things. I don't invest in ICOs. I never have and I never will, because one of four things were going on. Number one, they're not registered by the SEC here in America. Now, if they are, since I'm an American citizen, and if they are not registered by the SEC, and since I am an American citizen, I can't invest in their corporation anyways, or I'm underneath, some rules that are very negative to my pocketbook. So that's one thing you got to be worried about for most Americans. Are they registered by the SEC to raise the capital that they need to finish their product or service? Two, is the company board members capable of executing and deploying a successful product or service? A lot of smart people out there, but they don't have the background of actually successfully completing the product or service that they're talking about. Third thing I look at is whether or not the product or service is either valid on the blockchain, or do I understand it? If I don't understand it, and they're just saying this is the greatest thing since sliced bread, and and if you put your money here, yada yada yada, I don't understand it, and you make a lot of money there, one that causes raise for concerns. And of course the other one was, if they actually believe that they can be a part of the blockchain? Because number four is, a lot of products and services are out there. That's true. But some products and services they don't really need to be on the blockchain. Or either that, they're one-off from another ICO that's actually out there. All right? So if you got this Corvette that's an ICO and it's painted red with Bluetooth, and then and they raised a lot of money, and you have this other ICO with a Corvette that's painted blue with Bluetooth, you really should start looking at going, okay, if it's just a color change, then why can't the other one do that? That's just how it is. So anyways, let's go with another one. Coin doesn't exist. So once again, if real estate investors, call you up and say, I've got this next great opportunity and investment in a project, my best recommendation for you is, listen, just take as much information as you can, hang up, and then call the SEC and report the potential securities fraud. That's because that's basically what it is. They're going to sell you that we have this great new product. In fact, I get advertised a whole bunch of private ICO, fundraising groups that only I can be a part of. Yeah, right. It's funny. I keep watching them, and after they raise a whole bunch of money, I don't see them again. So once again, be careful. If someone tells you that you personally have been chosen to invest money in this private ICO, it's a scam. All right? So if you're in London, though, London is really cracking down on ICOs, because there's a paper that was actually out several months ago saying how to raise money for a fake company, and one of it was register your company in London. All right. Well, London has recently cracked down, and Parliament has written a new rule stating that your company must be validated before they can actually give you a license, and for you to register your company in London. All right. So if you're in London, or if you think you've gotten frauded, and the company's in London, call up the UK firm Action Fraud, and they'll help you out. All right. So there's a lot of impersonations. There's a lot of people that are out there, that are just creating, that are definitely out there. Some of the impersonations are just rampant on YouTube and on Twitter. So, and especially Facebook. It's like the CEX.io. Well, their current name is, CEX.io, but the fraudster name is CEX_IO, or just CEX.io. So once again, be very careful from these fraudsters that are out there. Once again, if you think you've been frauded, or you are being frauded, or you think it's a fraud, either call up the London's auction fraud or call up the SEC to report the potential securities fraud. So, like I said, not all cryptocurrencies are bad, but these are just some ways for you to actually get out there and protect yourself from investing in a scammer. Like I said, the technology is so new. In the past 8 years, a lot of people are creating new ways of frauding people. And all these people are saying, we should have laws to protect ourselves. Like, no, we don't. We actually need you to get out there and educate yourself on stating that this is a fraud or this is a scam. Let's not get the government involved to hold your hand to say whether or not it's an investment of a scam or fraud. When you yourself should be protecting yourself on whether or not it's a fraud or a scam. All right, because once you get more regulation to this area, then we've lost a lot of creativity of what the blockchain can be used for. So with that said, there's one more that I would like to get involved with. There is shady exchanges. If you know of any shady exchanges around, and these are exchanges that have exploded with the popularity of Bitcoin and other altcoins in the cryptocurrency world, that these are exchanges that they're great at taking your money, but have a very hard time in releasing it. That should poke some interest whether or not this is actually a valid exchange. A lot of people are saying, okay, well, what about Mt. Gox? Mt. Gox, for the longest time, made out with it was a solid exchange for the longest time, but then for some reason they made enough money to say, hey, we've got enough money, so let's go ahead and take, what is it, 450 million at the time that Mt. Gox suspended his training, which, if you look at it now, is worth over 3.5 billion. So Mt. Gox got away with a lot of money, and so how do we protect ourselves? Well, one, read up on like Reddit and search around for other cryptocurrency forums saying, is this a solid product? Is this product to get money into? And then also, is this product easy to get money out? For instance, Polynex. I tried Polynex. I put like $5 in the Bitcoin, made one simple trade. That was easy. But then I asked to get the 5.50 cents out. Never got my money out. So then I started snooping around. And of course, a lot of people are having a very hard time taking their money out of Poloniex. Poloniex is a Bitcoin exchange that's out there today. Now, what's a good exchange? Well, these are some of the exchanges that I've dealt with and that I don't have any problems um, with. Kraken, once again, is a great exchange that sells a lot of the popular altcoins and, of course, Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Ethereum. Uh, and uh, and so it's a solid Kraken. Basically, they've been able to improve their product, improve their service as time has gone on. Bittrex is a phenomenal, well secured exchange that has a whole host of over 250 altcoins that you can buy and sell, and it's very easy for you to get your money out. Problem is, right now, I'm I'm thinking that this has changed very soon. Is it's going to start supporting new registers. They stopped their registration because they just have a vast amount of people there, and in order for it to keep their product and service A plus, then they can only have so many people log on at once. Now, so is Bittrex improving this technology? From the word I got from my LinkedIn friends, the answer is yes. They are working on it. It's just with the vast amount of popularity that Bittrex has had ever since the Chicago Board of Exchange started putting futures or options on Bitcoin. This has really started. This made a big deal about them and took them by surprise on how popular that their exchange was going to be. Cryptopia. Cryptopia is another exchange that's out there that has a large amount of altcoins that they're slowly starting to weed out some of the crap coins that are out there. These are crap coins that really don't have any place in today's technology. Um, after a couple months of them receiving all that money, start finding out that are they having problems with executing, different business procedures of the people that they have on board. If the answer is yes, then the company's going to fail. But Cryptopia itself has been around for a long time, and is a very well maintained site. Coinbase is where you take your finite currency and you transfer it over to Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin. All right, so right there you've got a lot of different exchanges. Coinbase is great for you to transfer your money from your finite currency to Bitcoin, Ethereum, or a very few cryptocurrencies. So Coinbase is also great because it has an excellent security team, and once again, all of them have a way for you to have some sort of third-party member to your username and password. So in other words, you might be able to log on with your username and password, but then again, they'll also ask for your authenticator ID. And your authenticator ID, you can learn more about that and more different ways of securing your username and password on YouTube. But Authenticator is a Google product that when you set it up will give you a sum of numbers and letters. Well, then it'll go through their algorithm to state that if your set of numbers that you received on your phone is, when you put it in, it should match what Google itself has either stated that what the number should be at. And then if that is so, it comes back with either yes or no, go ahead and let them in, or not. And then if yes, you're allowed in. If not, they're going to come back to say, hey, listen, this number that's on your phone that you've synced with is not with what we have, so we don't actually think that you're the user or you're the authenticated user of your own account. So, and I definitely recommend to put that service on every single product that's out there that you have when you're dealing with the internet. So, With that said, my name is James Henderson with the Cryptocurrency Scam Report. These are the things that you should be watching out for. You know, you can, if you don't have, if you got some other questions of saying, okay, well, what about if this happens or that happens? Is it a scam or not? Why don't you text me? I'd love to answer these type of questions. Like I said, my background is in cryptocurrency. Uh, it's no, actually my degree's in cryptology, computer science, and mathematics. So I'm loving this area. Um, I've also dealt. I've also have a background in IT audits, scams, taking companies either into bankruptcy, out of bankruptcy. Ever since what is it? The Big E failed or Enron failed. There's been a whole new lot of laws and registrations that have just crowded the Chapter 7 world. So when a company if a large company goes out of business, they have to keep their data in certain ways, and so you get to find out whether or not did they get scammed. That's the reason why they're out of business. Did someone inside scam them? Did the owner take more money that made them fail? And you get to see all this really interesting stuff about how people have taken advantages of the sincerity of the people who work there, and in return that would make a company fail or not. So that's all I got. I'm excited that I created this broadcast, and I look forward to seeing a lot of y'all out there on the internet, especially trading. I love trading. You can make a lot of money at it, but if you don't understand the technology that's out there, either one, you should either keep asking questions before the guy gives up and saying you're not worth it, or he'll keep talking to you about it until you do understand it. So if you buy me enough beers, I'll keep talking all night long. That's just who I am. I enjoy it. But until next time, my name is James Henderson, signing off with MillardaBitcoin.com, the high frequency trading firm, and I hope you enjoyed what I had for you today. All right? You have an awesome day, awesome night, and have fun trading. I'll see you out there on the exchange. No, I'm sorry, my dogs aren't here. They're actually in bed. All right? What happened to my guitar? Well, I put it up. I had to rearrange this place. Well, I bought a whole bunch of insulation, and of course pulling it all up in the attic, which is the stairwell here. I had to, I had to cover everything. So, anyways, how's Emma? Okay, Emma's our 7-month-old, 8-month-old now. Great Dane. She's almost 100 pounds. I can't call her my puppy anymore. This is awful. Oh, let's see. At the drop in of Bitcoin at 9,000, my company lost 60,000. Now I'm only down 20. So with this volatility in the market, I was able to sell a lot of things that I wasn't able to sell. So I was able to hold on really quick, and so life is good right now. So everyone who stayed in trading my software was okay. So what I think about what's the next Ponzi scheme? There's so many out there that I've dealt with. I've dealt with Ponzi schemes and fraudsters my whole life. I can spot one a mile away. So the question was, Huh? Well, now a lot of people are saying they lost money in Bittrex. Listen, I apologize, but I've got Bitcoin is definitely here to stay. Yes, you're going to see a hit on the currency, but and you're going to see a lot of haters now because they lost a lot of money. But that has nothing to do with the technology or the Bitcoin itself. Had to do with of a lot of people's misfortunes that cost them their next mortgage. Um, what else? No, I'm going back to with what I said before. If you don't understand the technology of the coin, um, I wouldn't invest in it. Being a technical trader, if it's on Bittrex, has been validated by a lot of people who are into the space and who know more about each coin, but I'm not saying every coin there is going to go to the moon. Uh, you just see little profits, and that's all I'm interested in, especially as a technical trader. Uh, so what's next for me? I think the next one is going to start looking at technical analysis charts on on investors. That's that's what I'm that's what I enjoy. I love sharing my information. And let's see, this is the last one. No, I'm gonna skip that one. That's not that's related to BitConnect. Oh yes, the puppies. So next year, Emma will be old enough that we are gonna allow her to have puppies, just one set of puppies, and that's it. Then Guinness and Emma are gonna get fixed. So we want her to go through the joy of motherhood once, and then but we also want her to be old enough. So um, no, we don't plan on making money off the puppies. We we just want her to have the joy of motherhood. We do know for a fact from several veterinarians that if we take Guinness and we cut them off from the fatherhood world too soon, bone cancer sets in. So you want to at least give male Great Danes 2 years to mature before they go through, you know, and then have them fixed, and then they'll live a long time because if you do that, that actually stunts their growth and bone cancer is more likely to set in. And with females with Great Danes, this is coming from a veterinarian who's specialized in large breeds. They you definitely want to give them, you know, all the power they can get through their estrogen, and going through at least one set of heat before you fix them, in order for them to grow their fullest and be healthy for their fullest life. Um, because Great Danes just like any large breed. Great Danes go through also hip problems. So they need all the growth that they can get and all the support they can get as they're growing up before you start taking away certain features of their own bodies. So thanks for your concern. No, I didn't know that. I didn't know you're a Great Dane owner also. So that's cool. Um, oh, you just are a Great Dane owner. Oh, congratulations. If your puppy's less than a foot, keep holding them and hugging them on them as long as you can, because then they just become bigger than you are. But anyways, once again, my name is James Henderson. I'm coming from you live from alarmedbitcoin.com. Well, not actually live. This is a pre-recorded mission, and the mission statement is: I'm not a financial investor or an advertiser. I'm just a geek who's having fun in the Bitcoin world. So this is advertisement that is fun, but once again, I'm not an advisor to help you on securing your any financial adventures that you might have to take. So from all of us here at Millardo Bitcoin and me. Back to you. I'll see you out there on the Bitcoin world. I know I'm trading right now. Are you? All right, we're out of here.